and welcome, it's me, LinkingX2, and welcome back at Worlds. Continuing today with the next day in the play-in stage, where we will review all the games today and every day. You know how it goes. I, again, changed out a few things here and there, so let me know down below how you like them, and don't forget to support little old me with a like while you're at it. But without further ado, let's get going with today's first match. Starting with Perkz versus Humanoid. We start with an interesting draft here. Perkz with some nice ideas with Lilia into Taliyah, early Irelia, which is a bit iffy. Also picking Renekton and Tristana, which are not even close to being in a good spot in the meta at the moment. Humanoid on the other side also not with a perfect draft either. Chovy again on Azir. This time though he can at least interact with the opponents. Aatrox versus Renekton as the final pick, also historically not really a great pick. But at least they got Amumu, MF, and Taliyah, who has been showing up. The game itself was quite the clap. It seemed after the first day, Humanoid, where they struggled a bit, woke up dominant today, and they showed the gap between the regions. In this one, all of Humanoid showed up from top to bot, from the start to finish. It was quite clear cut. Their vision leads, faster rotations, and overall lane pressure left Perkz without any chances to make major plays. And it was very, very convincing. Games like this make it always really hard for me to pinpoint who gets the MVP. With Deft-less solo lanes, great kill and damage share from Deft and Ruler, I had to think about it, and for me again it is Deft who takes the point here. Yes, MF is in a strong spot, but there were still many threats from Perkz diving onto the immobile pirate, and well, his positioning was always clean, always dealing massive amounts of damage. The overall looks even better than yesterday, where he already got his first MVP. So Deft takes this one. Coming to the next match, Red versus LNG. Draft even more standard. MF first pick, we see Zed jungle. Yay! Hope to see more of these creative jungle picks, with Qiyana always being banned. Zed and Talon are the follow-up assassins that are viable there. Then we see Xinjiao and Lulu. Bit strange, right? And Gragas as well. And well, it turns out this is not Zed jungle, it's Zed mid. Great flexibility here from LNG, with Icon and Tarzan being able to play the champions in different roles. Obviously a great advantage coming to the groups and to the best of fives later on. Red though comes out of the gates swinging, generating early leads in jungle and bot lane. But then Ale, he says no, slams down his foot, and he again is the key performer for LNG. As such, we get to quite an even mid-game state here, with LNG edging out slowly but surely through better macro and vision control, resulting in them getting pick after pick, combined with the high damage comp on their side, and Red being rather squishy. It is the perfect setup for a snowball, and in just a few moments after the first pick, LNG already miles ahead. While it was close at the start, damn, it was a fast clap after the 25th minute. LNG shows how they can dominate, and well, it was a bit strange what they were doing in the early game. No questions for the late and mid game. Finished out the game quite comfortably. MVP again goes for the top laner Ale. He was the one carrying them in the early game and didn't falter in the mid and late game as well. Yes, Tarzan had quite a good game as well, but in the end for me Ale was the main difference maker, and he's also a very, very consistent rock in the team, and I want to award him for that. Coming to Infinity Esports versus Perkz, and well, this is a sorry game, right? The losers most likely out of Worlds. Both really had a rough start, but only one can really hope for the 4th spot now. In the draft we see both drafting some teamfighting tools. I have to say INF edges out there a bit more with the Silas and Nara in comparison to Perkz comp, but Tali's Irelia will have no answer once she gets going. The game starts as expected, with both sides fighting again and again, Buggax and Barbip on the other side getting all the kills for their team, but also Tali and Violet are able to generate small leads, so in the end Perkz edges out a bit here, and the trades continue with kills, drakes and turrets, and INF, they stay in touching distance for a while till we arrive at the 20th minute, where more or less all hell breaks loose. Both teams win decisive teamfights here and there, and it's really neck on neck. Like, one great capitalization on an objective really could swing the game for either side, with it being literally 1v9 from Buggax versus the world, getting all the kills, like being 12 and 1 or something. Violet, Tali and Barbit on the other side also holding against that. And it was, yeah, one man versus a team. And in the end, you know how this goes. After one pick and a follow-up Baron, Peace is finally able to roll them over. And yeah, they win their first game at Worlds. MVP, as I already alluded to, goes to Tali. Yes, there were other great performers on his team, but in the end he was, yeah, the key pick in the early game to set his jungler ahead. And then in the later team fights, he was just smurfing on the kids. No one really could stop his Irelia, as well everyone could predict from draft. And yeah, he did his part, but he did it well. In the next one, we have Red versus Hangwa Live. And yeah, Red has some nice pick overall here. Only the Xin Zhao not being like a pick that I really like. I mean, Jax and Twisted Fate are really doing well, in certain matchups at least. Hangwa Live though, with Sylas here as a tier F counter and Kai'Sa, which is a bit unusual, but they want to try it out as a new counter to MF. And yeah, from interviews we know that Deft regards it quite well in this matchup here. And we get a wild early game here with like massive proactivity from Red. They actually set themselves up nicely with a like 1k gold lead there. But then again and again, Hangwa Live push ahead with individual and team outplays, playing the map better as well. It's just the experience diff from like a major region team, and through that they also gained quite the lead. CS leads obviously everywhere, as we expect from Hangwa Live and Chovy especially, and through that, yeah, Hangwa Live gets the game in a firm grasp. The only issue obviously is Jax and TF with like late game split pushing, but Hangwa Live has learned from their mistakes in the LNG series, and they helped out Morgan in the early game, and Sylas and Talia can obviously join in the side lane later on, so they make it even harder for Jax to carry. Winning nearly, yeah, the final team fight. Hangwa Live grabs Baron, Inferno Soul, and yeah, they're nailing Red's coffin shot. After a bit of a slump early on, it was, yeah, similar to the LNG game, quite convincingly over. MVP for this one goes to Willard this time, again not Chovy. He has to step it up, man. But Willard's Talia roaming around the map, really getting the ball rolling, having like 100% kill participation I think at 15 minutes. Very solid game, and again we love to see it for Hangwa Live. Other members but Chovy stepping up, and with Deft and Willard now, yeah, Vista also playing solid. Bit overshadowed obviously by other members, but that's great news. Leaving Group A for Group B, we see Beyond Gaming versus C9 here. Beyond with a really smart move here in the draft, flexing the Graves, who was bound to go top lane with the Lilia, so C9's Malphite counter ends up misfiring. It's quite the smart adaptation here from them, and it actually works out. Lilia solo lane got nerfed quite a bit, but against the Malphite she's doing well in lane. After C9 punishes early invades from BYG, the game becomes quite even at first. BYG has powerful picks and they get edges in some lanes, but again, it is just in the laning phase, and we see some individual misplays here and there. There's really no stopping the C9 train as of now. They're grabbing all the Infernal Drakes, an early Baron, well, massive Fudge Faktor as well. Malphite unstoppable. If you remember the draft, no one can really deal with the Malphite in the late game. Misfortune Graves, they build lethality mostly. Lilia is not really that great of a tank shredder on her own at least, and especially not in team fights. C9 goes smoothly to a 2-0 score, while the team from the PCE falls to 0-2. They had some moments overall, but Perkz Sylas was able to steal crucial ults, and Malphite was unkillable from early on. So yeah, they shut down BYG's game plan, and the unconventional jungle top lane picks, in the end they didn't help him out in the later stages of the game. On a positive note though, Fudge answers MVP with Malphite. One could argue for Perkz again, and even Sven with massive KDA looked good, but I think, yeah, Fudge's impact in the mid game was a key point for C9's victory, so yeah, he earns this one with Malphite top lane. Coming to Galatasaray versus DFM. So Galatasaray looking great yesterday and DFM looking quite poorly. So one team wants to continue with their trend and the other one wants to change it. Both regions have a good history at international events, so there's a bit of pressure as well. But we actually see both teams here not picking any spicy picks. Yes, we get Lucian Nami, which is, yeah, interesting, but Aphelios Azir, we're starting to see the year-long standard. As well, we get the Urgot as the last pick here into Jace, which is a bit questionable, but it's one of the few picks Evi is comfortable with. And finally it's no Gnar. overall, this meta is more comfortable for DFM, as the Japanese region is known to be a bit slower than the global scene, and especially Turkey, who have shown to be capable of playing the faster style yesterday, which is all the more strange that they handshake this slower game style. In the game, after early TPs and great action, DFM and their oh god came out with massive leads, and well, they do snowball the game quite greatly, and their advantage was carried over into the mid game with turret takes and dragons as well. Galatasaray then tries some desperate picks in DFM's jungle, which backfires massively, with them getting completely wiped off the map, losing Baron and the gold lead exploding further to over 10k gold lead. And in the end we have to say, Detonation Focus Me, they look as powerful as we hoped they'd be, forgetting yesterday and they're demolishing yesterday's dominator Galatasaray in quite a clean fashion. MVP obviously goes to the Urgot, playing well in lane and then having the eye for the TPs, and overall his team play was also on point. Evi really stepping up after the very sad NAR games yesterday. Coming to the second last one, BYG versus UOL. It's the life or death game for Group B this time, which is actually a strange spot here. We saw UOL last year, the team to make it all the way to groups, and BYG from a middle major region, whatever you want to call the PCS. And again, we look at the draft, BYG again with more standard comfort, and UOL matching that after all the spicy picks in day one. Seems most of the crazy ones have fallen out of favor. Both have some losing and winning lanes around the rift, and the game was a bit split there. Strange for BYG, they put their main carry Doggo in a more weakened position, but early dives around the bot lane aim to counteract the natural dynamic down under. Doggo ends up in a quite nice spot regardless, having secured a lead there. BYG then calmly snowballs the Jays more and more, and one after another, Beyond's laners get ahead of the opposition. And a short question, did you know that Doggo is actually really damn good? If you see the highlights on screen, just maybe watch them afterwards. It's just such a great ADC after even getting 3 bans, this rather poor matchup. He still pops off with Ezreal, and with him as the backbone, BYG is looking alive again. They win this game in decent fashion here, and with 1-2 they're ready for a comeback in Group B. Obviously, I just said it, MVP goes to Doggo. It's just, he's the main carry. And now coming to the last one, C9 vs Galatasaray. Jarvan top, Talia jungle, Tryndamere mid. You seemingly can bet on NA this time to bring in these juicy picks. Galatasaray has some strong lanes here in top and bot, but bot lane, well, Sven and Vulcan take that one over in multiple fights, Blabber roaming around the map, impacting all the lanes, and overall getting his team the leads they need early on. And while Galatasaray is trying to make plays around crazy, the bot jungle gap is just widening, and even before the 15 minute, they are already 4k behind. Looking quite rough for them today. They're getting some of the drakes, yes, but losing their hold of the map and the game in general. It just spirals out of control in a more drawn out way as C9 finds the key picks at the end, find the Baron, find the ace, and finally end the game and end today's matches with an undefeated 3-0 score. MVP here again, quite hard, Sven with very clean gameplay, and I was really tempted to give it to him, was really good, but Blabber's actually doing most of the work early on, setting up Sven to then perform. So I think here again, as the jungler, as the enabler, Blabber has to get the honor. Looking at the MVP standings, for now we have Ale still the sole top position with 3 MVPs, followed by Deft with 2, and then we have the entire field with 1 each. Also looking at the standings in general, undefeated in Group A is still LNG in first. After them, Hunger Life solidifying themselves as the second spot for now, and they are followed by Peace and Red, tied with a 1-2 score. Infinity still winless in the dead last spot. Similarly undefeated is Cloud9 in Group B, but the field is closer there, with DFM and Galatasaray having each 2 wins and Beyond just a step behind. There, UOL shares Infinity's fate in the last place. Fun fact of today, Red side is winning, and they're winning a lot more than the blue side. It is 11-5 for the red side, so if your team plays on blue side tomorrow, better start taking some hopium now. That's it. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Also comment down below how you feel about the state of the play-in meta right now. After spicy day 1, it seems teams pivot more to known champions and comps. So yeah, maybe things are changing up. Also share any form of critique or things I should cover in the future as well. I always enjoy reading your messages, so just type away. And tune in tomorrow where we will cover some more great games and the end of the playing groups. See you then, have a great one.